Now, the first quarter of this year, we've seen dry weather conditions as well as frostbites in some parts of the country. What effect has this had on the tea sector in general?
Anything that disrupts production has an impact finally on the output and also on the earnings to the farmers. We estimate the frost damage to be about between 10 and 15%. And of course, the bush takes about 3 months before it can completely rejuvenate. So during this period, obviously, there is no production and the farmers have no earnings. So that's quite a severe impact for those farmers who are affected. In terms of the drought, yes, we've had quite a severe drought this current year. Even as we speak right now, there have not been any rains. And tea production is down, completely down. And obviously, again, it has the same impact as impact of drought. It means that farmers don't have production, and therefore we are not selling as much tea as we could sell. And therefore they have not as much earnings as they could have been able to earn.
Now, tea has been performing quite well at the auction. What do you attribute this to, and will the good prices persist moving forward?
If you compare this year to last year, the prices this year are lower than last year, on average. However, because of the prevailing drought, we have seen a bit of prices going up. And we hope that we can be able to catch up with last year. So prices, on average, are actually lower than they were same period last year. And of course, we also know what happened to the exchange rate. We went up to levels of over 100 shillings to a dollar. And now the pressure has been very, very hard on the dollar, and the shilling has actually appreciated to levels of close to 82 shillings to the dollar. Again, that has impact in our earnings as exporters of tea.
Now, high cost of farm inputs as well as fertilizers have been blamed by farmers in the past for the reduction in their earnings. What role is KTDA playing to minimize this effect?
I think it's important to understand what causes input prices to either go up or down. And as we probably know, fertilizer is manufactured using natural gas, which is a factor of oil production. And therefore, when the oil prices go up, then automatically gas prices go up. And being an essential input into the production process for fertilizer prices go up. And as we talk now, we all know what has been happening to oil prices because of the problems we've had in the Arab world, in the oil-producing countries. So oil prices are very high. We can even see at the pump. Pump prices are high. And by extension, then input prices are high. And there's very little that we can do in the sense that we are not the ones who produce the fertilizer. The only thing that we actually normally do is we pool the requirements of the farmers. And using economies of scale, we are able then to negotiate and get rates that are better than market rate.
Now, speaking of cost of production, how do you see this turning out for farmers this year?
Energy prices have a multiplier impact on the cost of production. We do collect a lot of leaf. Every day our trucks are out there collecting leaf, and they use fuel. And therefore, with the higher fuel prices, it means there are higher cost of collection. Then at the same time, we use fuel for firing our boilers. Okay, we intersperse it with wood, but wood is now not so much available. And therefore, we find that generally the cost of production is higher. Electricity, we know the impact of high fuel prices on electricity. And energy is a major component in terms of our cost of production. So this year, we are seeing a major increase in the major costs of production. That is electricity, fuel. We've talked about lower prices, and we've talked about the unfavorable exchange rate. So all these things put together will definitely depress earnings for the farmers to a certain extent.
With regards to value addition, what role is KTDA and other stakeholders in the tea industry playing to maximize on this opportunity?
Locally, we are involved in packing, in blending, packing, and distribution through our sister company, Kenya Tea Packers. We are also involved in various elements of value addition through our other subsidiary company, Chai Trading Company in Mombasa, which blends and exports teas to various destinations in the world. And then we are servicing various customers of ours who are all over the world. As to whether you mean that forward integration into various markets, that is something that is always on the horizon. It's not as easy as it sounds. But we are looking where there are such kind of opportunities, we will be able to take advantage of that.
Now, 2011 was a very good year for the tea sector in general. How is this playing out in 2012? Are you bullish about the sector?
Well, it's difficult to predict, really. You know, this is we've already seen the impact of drought. What caused the shilling to depreciate? There were very many factors. I mean, the demand for foreign exchange. I don't think that is going to change that dramatically because we still rely on the same exports to earn the country foreign exchange. We have experienced in the past serious drought conditions and food deficits. Now we're beginning to see certain droughts again this year. Now, so there are very many factors, and it would be difficult for us to predict which way the shilling versus the dollar is going to go.